What's going on, world? And welcome to Clearing the Wreckage Podcast. It's the voice and your host, Kareem A. Rashid. And once again, I don't know what you got going on. You could be getting on the toilet or you could be getting off the toilet. Hell, for all I know, you could be wiping your tushy. But I know that I'm ready. And so I hope that you're ready to clear the wreckage. Yes, indeed. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's going on today with you, my peeps, my fellow Wreckage Clearers, my Wreckage Clearing community? We're back for another great episode and conversation. And I know I said to you last week, we're going to talk about secure attachment, but nope, we're not. We're scratching that. Chicka, 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 chicka. Reverse. Chicka, 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 chicka. Scratch, scratch, scratch. We're scratching that. We are scratching that because we need to talk a little bit more about unlocking anxious attachment. And so in today's conversation, I want to go a little bit deeper with you on anxious attachment style and why fear, guilt, and shame are the core responses of your nervous system. You ready? Let's get into it. First, anxious attachment style is linked to your nervous system. These three responses. Why? Because your brain treats the relationship threats like physical danger. Your brain cannot distinguish the difference. It triggers a fight or flight state. And this is why you either want to run away, but you are afraid to. And this is why you shut down emotionally. And this is why you want to fight. Right? You want to fight your partner. You want to argue. You want to explain yourself to the core. And you want to defend yourself. Your defenses go up right away. And that's why you feel attacked. But your fear is really truly coming from being left alone or abandoned. Number one, that's your fear, where it's coming from. Your shame. You feel shame because you feel like you are bad or unworthy. You feel guilt, number three, because you think that your own needs may hurt others. At times, I often find myself even feeling the same way and saying this. Let's have an honest time with Kareem. And I'll be saying, well, I don't want to be a burden to them. I don't want to be a burden, so I shouldn't ask for this. Right? Have you ever said that? All of this, my friends, comes from inconsistent care from your primary caregivers. We talked about that before, but I'm going to tell you again. That is where anxious attachment style comes from, the inconsistent care from your primary caregivers. For instance, let's take me. Being a child whose parents went through a divorce, I thought there was something wrong with me. And especially when my mother had custody of us, I thought, well, I must be unlovable. Well, I must not be wanted because my dad must not like us. My dad must not want me. I must be a hellish kid. And ultimately, there was a feeling of rejection there and abandonment. So let's go over real quick how fear drives this system. Fear makes rejection feel like a threat to your life. Man, it really does. You're so afraid that they will leave you. You must say the right thing. You must do the right thing. You must give them whatever they want. If not, then you are doomed. Doom. Because you feel that you will be left alone. Have you ever felt that way? And the reason I'm sharing this and going deeper with you today is because I know that there is someone, one of you, even if it's one, it doesn't matter. That's all I'm here to help, one person, that has anxious attachment style and knows exactly what I'm talking about and is going through it right now and does not understand any of this and why they think the way that they think. So I am here to share this with you because, hey, that one person who's listening, guess what? I am just like you, and you're not alone. All right? And guess what? There is nothing wrong with you at all. You are not broken. You are good enough, and you are worthy of love. So worthy of love. The other thing that happens with this fear is that your brain will also jump to the worst case scenario. I remember my ex-girlfriend telling me, giving me a nickname. Her nickname for me was WCS, Kareem. WCS, oh, here comes WCS, Kareem, worst case scenario. That's what that stands for. How would she say? And I would laugh because, yeah, it's funny. But she was right. Even though she was joking, right, there was so much truth in that statement. So fear will also push you to even text more, beg more, or demand reassurance. You haven't told me you love me today. You haven't told me you love me today. Can I have a hug, please? I need a hug. That's that reassurance. You're demanding it because you feel like you need it. And why you feel like you need it so much is because, truthfully, you don't know how to give it to yourself. And of course, you don't ever want to feel like you have lost total control. You don't ever want to feel powerless, because then what happens is that you begin to panic and have more anxiety when the other person pulls away, or even if that person simply doesn't return a text right away. So let's talk about expectations when it comes to phones or text message. Do you expect your partner, now be honest now, do you expect your partner to return your phone call right away if they miss your call, to return it right away? How about this? Let's go even further. Do you expect your partner to answer the phone every single time that you call because it's you? And you're the most important person in the world, right? Or do you expect your partner to respond to a text message right after you send one, right when they receive it, right when it says delivered? All it says on there is delivered, and you expect them to look at their phone. Oh, they hear that they have a text message and respond to you right away. I know that you may be filled with shame right now to answer that question because this is part of your core identity. But you don't have anything to be ashamed of, because there's plenty of us out here with anxious attachment style, and me being one of them, that I used to struggle with that a whole lot. I've gotten a lot better. I don't really wrestle with that as much as I used to, but I definitely used to so much. So you're not alone. Here's why shame, let's talk about that since I just talked about shame a little bit. Here's why shame becomes your core identity. It is because you are blaming yourself for the other person's mood. You are blaming yourself even for their distance. Again, you begin to think that there is something wrong with you. Let's go back to my childhood. When mom had us and my daddy didn't have me, I thought, well, maybe there's something wrong with me. Maybe there's just something wrong with me. When all of my siblings left the house, they sprouted up. It wasn't their fault. They just got older quicker than I did. I was the youngest. And they left. I said, well, maybe there's something wrong with me. I felt like there was something wrong. Nobody wants me. Nobody wants me. I'm unlovable. So that shame comes there. And it comes from the childhood. Maybe you don't know that, so I'm here to share that with you. Right? And so here's something that we also do, those of us that are anxiously attached. We may even make up stuff in our head, all right? So we're making up all this stuff in our head. Oh, I'm unlovable. There's something wrong with me. I must have done something. And we jump to conclusions and assumptions, right? So the internalized blame happens because your core belief is that something is wrong with you. Hey, I am not enough, or I am too much, or I am broken. Shame also makes you hide your true needs to stop people from leaving. You don't want to express your true needs because you feel like you are a burden. Again, that stems from that core belief that I am too much, I am broken, I am asking for too much, I am a burden. And the more you feel shame, the harder you cling to others for worth. The more you come home and you demand reassurance. Here's why guilt will control your actions as well. So we talked about fear. We talked about shame. Let's talk about guilt, the last one. Because you feel guilty just for wanting attention or time. This is called policing your needs. You're waiting for the right time to speak up or say what it is that you need. Now, granted, there is a right time and a calm time that you need to come to your partner and express your needs. You better not be coming to your partner and expressing your needs in the middle of a heated argument. That is not the time to do it. However, with this guilt that is controlling your actions, you are making sure that your partner is in a good mood, they're happy, before you bring up your concerns or your needs. Yes. Now, guilt also controls your actions because you feel responsible for fixing your partner's moods or feelings, right? If they have a bad feeling, they have a bad mood, you feel responsible. They had a bad day at work and they express it. You feel responsible for fixing the feelings that they had about their current day at work. You want to bring up solutions and all of that stuff. Because you feel responsible, and why you feel responsible is because you feel like there may be something that is wrong with you or something that you have done, let alone you do not want to be selfish. So the guilt tells you that asking for love is a bad thing. So walk with me for a minute. Walk with me for a minute. If you go to your partner, let's talk, those of you who are married right now, you go to your partner and you say, hey, babe, it's been a while since we had sex. I really want sex. I need some loving. And your partner says a comment to you, oh, man, is that all you think about is sex? That, my friends, is rejection. And what if you go to your partner again and you ask them for sex, or you reach out for sex? You reach out to touch them, you try to give them comfort, you try to turn them on in some kind of way, and they pull away. That is rejection. And rejection, my friends, on an anxious attachment style, the person that has anxious attachment, it leaves a big stain. I'm talking about the stain that don't get out of your clothes. You can't wash it out. Ain't no detergent strong enough for this stain. Because what it does is the cycle begins to repeat itself. That shame, that guilt, and that fear. Because now you don't even want to go to your partner anymore because you are afraid that they are going to reject you. Then you feel like, well, dang, there must be something wrong with me. Is my partner not attracted to me? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Woo. Man. It's hardcore to us that are anxiously attached. So ultimately, you become silent. Your voice, that is, right? You just don't want to say anything. There's no need for me to say anything. I don't have a voice in this relationship. And I can't say anything because if I say this at this time or if I say that, oh no, they're going to leave me. And that's your fear. And so that cycle continues to repeat itself, and repeat itself. I did that on purpose. And then, even like showing anger. You don't want to show that you're angry because you are in fear. You're afraid. So how do we begin to clear the wreckage on this? How do we begin to change these thoughts? Well, first, we must remember that these thoughts are deep-seated. And they are even automatic. Remember, on our previous conversation, one of our conversations we talked about, probably 2 or 3 episodes ago, I talked about the automatic thoughts. All right, so this is what is happening inside of your nervous system, inside of your brain. So changing these attachment thoughts require rewiring the automatic stories that our brain tells us when we feel insecure, right? So because these thoughts are deeply seated to your nervous system survival state, you must challenge them with consistency and self-compassion. So the first thing we must do is become aware. So to the person that's listening to this and doesn't have any idea what attachment style they are and they hear themselves in this, that is you becoming aware right now. Oh, man, well, that sounds like me. Well, Kareem is saying something. Wow, that sounds like me. Okay, so now you are becoming aware of this. You must notice that you have an automatic story, an automatic thought that you tell yourself when you begin to feel insecure or be triggered, right? So then we must catch the trigger by identifying the exact moment that our thoughts start to spiral. I said spiral. Spiral. We must identify that moment. So practically, it can look something like this. Okay, my partner came home. They're silent. They're not saying anything to me. And then we begin to think, oh, well, I must have done something wrong. There's something wrong with me. That thought right there is coming in. It's an automatic thought. Oh, they don't want anything to do with me. Automatic thought. Here we go. We're about to start this carousel. We're about to spiral out of control, so we must catch that, okay? Then we must give that story a name. Tell ourselves, oh, wait, this is anxious attachment right now. It's trying to create a story for me, trying to tell me that I did something wrong. And so we separate ourselves from our thoughts. Yes, they are our thoughts, but they are simply that, a thought, not a fact. And then the last thing we must do is pause. We must stop ourselves from texting, stop ourselves from calling. Yes. And then we need to practice facts over feelings, right? We need to fact check our anxiety. We got to ask ourselves, what objective fact proves that my partner is leaving? Why do I think they're leaving? What objective fact proves that they're leaving? What objective fact proves that my partner is seeing someone else? Notice I said objective is the key word. Subjective is not. Subjective sounds like this. Well, my partner ain't answering the phone, so she's at another man's house. Well, my partner didn't answer the phone, so he's at another girl's house. No. That's subjective, and those are automatic stories that you automatically tell yourself. So the objective thought will be something like, oh, you know what? My girl is not answering the phone, and she can't get to the phone right now because she is busy at work. Period. And then you need to list the counter evidence. You need to remind yourself of the times that your partner has shown you love. Man, last night, man, my girlfriend just poured into me and told me how much she loves me, how proud of me she is. She gave me all that validation and reassurance. I'm good. You feel me? That's what we got to do. Now, so if your partner is quiet and that is causing a trigger moment for you, then find 3 reasons why they might be quiet. Okay, well, my partner had a bad day. My partner had a long day. My partner is in deep thought. My partner might need some time to decompress. That was 4 I gave you, however. Just find 3 things. Also, it doesn't hurt for you to even open your mouth and ask. I was always told a closed mouth don't get fed. Open your mouth and ask, but do not ask from a clingy stance. In other words, do not ask from a panic. I noticed, are you okay? Don't ask like that, because you're asking from a place of fear, guilt, and shame. You're thinking something is wrong with you. That shame, you're thinking and you're feeling guilty for something that you did. That argument yesterday, they're still mad about that. You feel guilty about it. And then that fear, you're afraid that they are leaving you or something else, right? Ask out of genuine love. Just go, hey, everything all right, babe? Simple as that. Also, remind yourself that silence, quiet time, or even a bad mood does not equal a broken relationship. And so with that, we must rewire our core beliefs. We need to do a little cognitive reframing. First, we need to flip the shame, okay? So walk through it with me. Change, I am too needy, to I have valid human needs for connection. Then we need to flip the fear. Change, they are leaving me, to they are busy and I am safe on my own. Then we need to flip the guilt. Change, I am ruining things, to expressing my feelings is healthy. Then repeat that truth and write new statements down and read them daily. All right? And then the last thing you need to do is just become your own safe haven. Speak to yourself like a child who needs comfort. Remind yourself that your value does not depend on them texting you right away or them saying I love you 3 times a day or even once a day. It doesn't depend on that. It does not diminish or add value to you, and it doesn't lessen your worth or it doesn't increase your worth. You are worthy of love and you are more than enough. Focus on some hobbies. Focus on some friends or some different tasks that only belong to you. You know what I mean? I play my video game. Like, that belongs to me. Or I read a book. Practice validating yourself by learning to tell yourself that you are okay. Remember last week? Not last week, but the week before? You are okay. I am safe. All right? And here's something I'm going to leave you with this, that my therapist taught me on how to communicate with my partner by saying I statements. Say, I feel rather than you always. I feel is you actually owning your feelings, right? Being aware and noticing that these feelings, yeah, they come from me. They're mine. No one put these feelings in me. No one made me feel some type of way. No. Nobody can make you feel some type of way. You got to get that through your head, right? So you just share with them, I feel. But don't say you or you always do that or you always say this, because that is accusatory. Also, stick to one topic instead of listing past relationship mistakes, right? A practical example would be this. I feel rejected right now, and what triggered it is perhaps when you came home and you were quiet. Can I ask you, please, for a hug and a greeting when you come home next time? Also, that's it. And remember that having needs is perfectly normal, healthy, and necessary. And I'll leave you with this. You are only human, and as a human, you desire connection because you were wired for connection. All right? So our next segment, our next conversation may be about secure attachment, but we have to learn about ourselves first in order to take that journey to go forth onto becoming a secure, attached person in all of our relationships. Remember that these attachment styles, yes, they are with the person that is close to you, your partner, your spouse, or whatnot, but this carries on to every single relationship in your life. So I want you to think about all the relationships. That's your homework. Think about all the relationships in your life where you have seen this type of behavior or these type of deep-seated thoughts, and practice changing them. Flip the fear, flip the shame, and flip the guilt. I love you. Until next time, as I always leave you, take some time to look inside so that the wreckage can begin to clear. Peace.